Today, okay, September 14th, marks a very embarrassing day for Nigerian Twitter at least. Yeah, man, this wasn't good. This wasn't good in many ways. The conversation today was about Amapiano and who, I guess, introduced it to West Africa. Um, and my goodness, this exposed so much misinformation from artists, even artists, not just fans. Okay, not just Nigerian music fans or enthusiasts. Artists, okay, don't understand so much about Amapiano, and it hurts. It hurts, because you would hope at this point that such a huge genre that has been a massive influence in the last 2 years, for Nigerian music. You would think some people did some level of research and like just have the ear for it, but most people do not. All right. So I think what kicked off the entire thing is obviously the new record that we heard from Wiz. Okay. And obviously in the same pure fashion that we see stan culture does this thing. Davido fans usually come and ready, they're prepped to call it mid, and they're like, okay, let's go. This is mid record. In some way, trying to find a way to chastise Wizkid or to call it terrible or whatnot. That's a given, and they do it either way. Every club or every camp does it in some sense. So in this, in today's, I guess, clapback or stand move from Davido's camp, or I'm not saying Davido's camp, but like from 30BG, the fans. One of them put out a tweet that said, Davido brought Amapiano from South Africa 2 years ago and made it a successful genre in Africa and beyond. Wizkid is now hopping on the same genre after Davido made it a successful genre. This is how many African artists have been benefiting from Davido's success for over the years. Now, there's some minute element of truth there, but obviously they're stands, so they'll blow it out of proportion. Obviously, Davido has been a huge catalyst to, I guess, the move and success for the genre, but again, making it seem like it's like Davido came in the picture and Amapiano never became the same and whatnot. It's been a collective move, okay, and Davido obviously has a role to play. With that being said, the statement Wizkid is now hopping on the same genre because we heard his new single is Amapiano influenced, and it's funny because obviously this person doesn't know or hasn't done their homework, and Wizkid obviously was one of the first artists that I personally heard Amapiano from off the Sponono record, Kabza de Small. I think I'm saying his name right. Is Maphorisa, actually, because yeah. Anyway, that's another whole thing. But DJ Maphorisa, who is one of the biggest Amapiano DJ and producers, actually responded to this, and the response what triggered I think a lot of conversation, and the response was Kabza and Maphorisa were the first to put Wizkid and Burna Boy on an Amapiano song, Sponono. That was a historical moment 3 years ago. This was 2020 June. And research before tweets. Also, it was the first time Wiz and Burna jumped on the same song. Obviously, he doesn't know that Burna and Wiz have been working since 2013. So, anyway, we'll let that one slide. He's not from Nigeria. Obviously, probably he had no idea. But that obviously was wrong. But essentially, he's making it clear that Sponono was, to his knowledge, the first song that he heard for a mainstream artist in Nigeria. And guess what? OBO quotes this. Now, Davido responds to this in honestly a very immature way and frankly misinformed as well. And it's so funny because how misinformed it is. Okay, immediately he sees this response from DJ Maphorisa and he says, "You've never liked me. Why?" Okay, first off, back up. Let's back up from there, bro. Let's actually back up. At what instance from Maphorisa's tweet did you even... What he said isn't essentially a lie. It's not a lie. It's not a lie. Wizkid was one of the earlier Nigerian artists to jump on the record. on jump on that genre, and it's factually correct. Okay, he's just stating the fact and correcting misinformation from one of your stands, and his immediate reaction to that is, "You've never liked me? Why? What?" Very immature, but anyway, I've always been good to you, and anyways, away. That it has to be cruising, bro. It's just so funny because this actually became an entire conversation. Now this sparked an entire conversation on the tier. Obviously, Davido responded and blew it, especially on Nigerian Twitter, and people started or Stan started attacking Maphorisa and claiming what he's saying is a lie. There were stupid responses to that. So I'm not saying, Ogashe the song blow. You never heard of Wizkid or Burna Amapiano song, but baddest first to ever do it. Did it twice, both banger. I beg, making it like Nigerians. Come on now, come on, bro. Anyway, it sparked a lot of horrible takes. People were coming back, stating claim to being the first to to bring Amapiano to Nigeria. The most amazing one, Mehdi. My bro, Mehdi, let's talk. What the fuck? Okay, this was absolutely embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing for Mehdi. Now, Mehdi is stating claim that the work he had with Oskido from I think 2014 or 2016, he's stating claim to that to be Amapiano. Amapiano is a genre that was virtually birthed in 2019, bro. It didn't exist. And you're stating claim to bringing it to Nigeria. How so? How so? Okay? How so? Let me find that tweet, bro, because this was amazing. This was absolutely amazing to witness. Saying that me bring Amapiano come Nigeria, and I have awards to prove that. We started the Nigeria South African collaboration. I don't like saying shit like this, but y'all like putting me under the box. Everybody wants to be pioneer. Everybody wants to be in front. Everybody wants to blow up their stance, bro. Bro, you collabed with South Africa doesn't mean you were making that Amapiano records. What sense does that make? What sense does that make, my bro? What sense does that make? Not everything from SA is Amapiano, my guy. And that's the misconception that this entire whole debacle proved and exposed. Everybody thinks anything from South Africa, Amapiano. Bro, come on. Amapiano is a variation of so many genres, and mostly house, kwaito elements, jazz, lounge elements to it, okay? And there's a very distinct use of switch of the bass and the drums. And the drums now become the bass with the log drums. There's a very distinct sound. You hear it. Amapiano, you should be able to understand what Amapiano sounds like by now. You should be able to understand that. How pronounced the shakers are in the beginning of the song. Like, come on. Get Down was in Amapiano. Chelete, people were bringing Mafikizolo features from back. Uhuru songs like Kona, they're calling that Amapiano. They're saying Soweto Baby that Wizkid was on with Maphorisa. They're saying that was Amapiano when Amapiano didn't exist. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I don't know what else to say. Somebody needs to like this should be basic knowledge. Honestly, it should be, but I don't think it is. And just do any Googles, any form of research here. South African DJs speak on it. Yeah, South African journalists, broadcasters speak on it and understand this genre. Understand the culture of this genre. You can't just stake claim to, because it's the biggest thing from South Africa, now it's everything in South Africa is Amapiano. In some sense, this is a reflection of the term Afrobeats. And like, I see it. Okay, this is a reflection in how people think everything from Nigeria is also Afrobeats. Anyway, that's another conversation for another day. But this exposed so much. Okay, now the conversation now became who actually was the first mainstream artist to bring it to Nigeria. Secondly, who was the mainstream artist that popularized it? Now, it's hard to give that title to one person. It's hard because you actually had to make so many names or bring so many names up that contributed to the blow or the catalyst of that genre in that space. But obviously, you have to stake claim for the more pronounced hit records, and the more pronounced hit records that actually pushed Amapiano in a huge form in Nigeria, in West Africa, easily has to be K-Star. Okay, now it's not saying it's the first. It's far from the first. Okay, it's far from the first. Now, this was an exciting time for actually need to like go through the record books and look through it and be like, who actually was the first record? And immediately, I always had the idea that it was Mayo Kunz of Lagos. I had the idea just at the back of my mind that, oh, that was the first Amapiano song that we heard that used Amapiano elements in the instrumentation. And funny enough, it was a solo record by Mayo Kun, produced by Fresh, who is a Nigerian producer as well. So for a lot of people, their eyes or their mind don't go to that song because it's a fully Nigerian song, at least by a Nigerian producer and Nigerian artist. So I was like, in my mind, that was what Off Lagos was. But Sponono now became a contention when I was like, oh, did Sponono come before that? And there's another record too, Kidominot and Casper Nyovest. That's another collaboration that was very early in its run. And even Kidominot tweeted too that E-Wallets was the first. E-Wallets came before Sponono, okay? Now, the timeline is has to be clear. I ended up looking into it and trying to see what exactly came first. Now Kido tweeted it. He said, me and Casper E-Wallet started Amapiano in West Africa. Now, this segment is actually started, bro. It's dicey. Like, let's not stake claim to originating or starting something that isn't ours. Like, let's not do that. That's very dangerous territory. We shouldn't be doing that. You can use terms like adopt or made use of or borrowed. Like, let's not make claim or ownership to it. Using words like started can trigger a lot a lot of misinformation, you know. But yes, he used poor language here. But me and Casper E-Wallet, in this case, started Amapiano in West Africa. Sponono followed and made it bigger. Then David and Foka really took the genre to another level. Obviously, how genres build in any market, there's always a collective line of events, and usually the biggest one is usually given the credit for it. And for, again, like I said, Focalistic and Davido had the biggest impact in terms of like airplay for Nigerian music, and K-Star was one of them. But I actually looked into it, and it turns out Mayo Kunz of Lagos actually dropped before Sponono, and I was actually blown away by that point. It made me think, where did Fresh actually hear it? Who did Fresh talk to? Who to use those elements? Because if you go to that record, it's an Amapiano record, man. The timeline for that, E-Wallet came May 29, 2020, and Whiskey and Burner came June 26th. Meanwhile, Of Lagos was way before all of that, in April of 2020. So that was, I guess, one of the big mainstream. Even Of Lagos might not even be the first. Okay, there might be a smaller artist that picked it up. But in all of this, I'd even make acknowledgements to Nigerian DJs. That obviously DJs, their job to have their ears open to many sounds that are coming off in different parts of the world. So in parties, in clubs, Nigerian DJs must have been responsible for even Fresh picking up those elements. So you can even attribute many of this culture shift, or at least adoption, with the help of DJs. DJs are usually, and this happens in hip-hop history, this happens across the board in music history, DJs are usually the connectors of sounds in different regions and different parts of the world. So obviously you need to give credit to DJs first before even getting into the artist and producer conversations. But yes, this entire thing was insane. It was an entire discussion. Obviously, I still hold the fact that people need to go out there and learn about the genre that they're using. Artists need to learn about the genre that they're using, because it's revealed so much. Davido responding to it, I don't know, he's gonna say maybe it's Catching Cruise, because he can't stake claim to songs like Chilete, The Sound, and like all those old records in 2014, 2013, all those collaborations with South Africans are not Amapiano, and he shouldn't be describing it as. If he is, again, it's funny because Davido is an artist that travels to South Africa, collaborates, like he's off the culture in many instances than many artists in Nigeria for Amapiano, and it's just sad that he believes that. Same as Mehdi as well, an artist that actually traveled to South Africa from time and has a lot of ties in South Africa. You would expect these people to be at least a lot more knowledgeable about the genre. And anyway, I'll end this entire video by pointing you guys to a very fun documentary that I ended up rewatching just for the sake of this video because it exposed so much. So if you have time or if you have 20 minutes, I urge you guys to go check out the This Is Amapiano documentary on BBC News Africa. I'll leave the link in the description below. This video does a lot to actually show you some form of breakdown to what's unique about Amapiano. And again, it's still hard to describe the sound, but again, this video would help you in that, to show the growth, to show the birth, and at the timeline for which it became what it is today. So yeah, so I urge you guys to go check that one out. And anyway, that was it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this video kind of helped and gave some context. Obviously, I'm still referring to the other video for you guys to go check out because I think that would do a better job than what I did. Obviously, hearing from South African artists and for South African accounts by themselves. So yeah, man, that was interesting. That was interesting. Thank you so much for watching. Obviously, I've been your boy Mano, aka Power Papi. Yeah, thank you so much, and subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.